engage with them. I'd like to introduce Ian Campbell, who's partnered with the Chamber of Commerce to bring this to you tonight and the opportunity, and he's from About Regional, and he will be the moderator for this evening, and he'll give you a bit of an outline of the format that we intend to use in regard to questions and how we will proceed with the evening. So thank you very much, Ian.
Hello, thank you for turning out. We meet on the lands of the Marigo people, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. My name's Ian Campbell from About Regional, which is a new digital platform for the news and stories of southern New South Wales, and I invite you to sign up for our free weekly newsletter at the back of the room. Thank you so much for turning out. Here we are 2 weeks from polling day. The election campaign's been plodding along. We've seen the PM kicking a lot of balls. We've seen the opposition leader jogging a lot, and tonight you guys are here to put our local candidates, the candidates for Eda Monaro, through their own paces. Please welcome our candidates to tonight's forum. The thing I love about these sort of events, and I think perhaps you do too because you're here, and I think the candidates appreciate, is that this is real, it's face-to-face, it's direct, it's genuine. There are no filters. This is genuine one-on-one communication with real people. The only filter we have tonight is the filter of respect. Respect for each other, respect for different ideas, and respect for each other's time. The rules of engagement. How's this going to work? Each of our candidates will have 3 minutes to introduce themselves to you. There are a number of set questions, 3 questions from the Jindabyne Chamber of Commerce, and our candidates have been supplied with those questions prior. Then we open up questions from the rest of the audience. Those asking a question have 1 minute to ask their question. Candidates have 2 minutes to answer. Our timekeeper will give a bell at 1 minute to go. And then at the end, each candidate will have 1 minute for some closing remarks. An audio recording is also being made of our meeting tonight, which will turn into a written article and or a podcast that will be available on the About Regional website. In Cooma on Wednesday night, we followed the order of the ballot paper. Tonight I thought we'd mix it up a bit and go alphabetically. So our first candidate to speak tonight with their 3-minute introduction is Chandra Singh from the United Australia Party.
Yay.
I wasn't trying to do a runner.
Chandra, do candidates want to come up here, or are you happy to talk? Perfect, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk from here as long as people can see me. All right? Well, I know I'm a bit dark, so you won't miss me. The sun tells truth. I arrived in this country about 27 years ago from Fiji, where I worked in the banking industry. I started as a teller, and I worked my way through senior bank manager. At the same time, I had a keen interest in people's welfare, so I joined the trade union movement and eventually became a secretary of the Bank Employees Union and served on the Trade Union Congress at the highest level. I also had interest in social service, so I joined Apex and was the president of the Apex Club of Suva, and then moved to Rotary, and I was the vice president. I arrived in Australia looking for work in the banking industry, but at that time there were too many bankers around, so I couldn't get a job in the banking industry. So I ended up selling insurance from door to door. I did fairly well in that trade, and within 6 months of arriving I was able to buy a house, and within 2 years we had 2 investment properties, and within 15 years the family had 15 properties, so 9 properties altogether. And after 15 years we were able to go into business, and we bought our first motel in Coffs Harbour. We got finance, bought a second motel in Cooma, in Marlborough. We lived there for 7.5 years. And the third one we bought in Eden, the Coachmans. So I'm familiar with this area. 2 years ago, I retired from business, or was forced to retire. I could explain that later. In my time property developments during the day. My wife took up 2 jobs. My children worked in Macca's. So we all worked together. My grandparents were virtual slaves in Fiji, taken by the British from India. So I have a background where we needed to work hard to get where we were. And in my dealings with the banks, I found myself to have been too trustful of the bank manager, and I got dudded and lost everything. So I have got a bone to pick with the banks. Like everybody else, the Royal Commission exposed a lot of misdeeds. And my fear is if the Liberal Party ever gets into power, they'll bury the report and nothing will happen because they will try to protect their mates. And the Labour is already under pressure not to do any changes in the banking sector. Newspaper articles are already appearing, putting the pressure on, don't bring in any sudden changes. So if the Labour or the Liberals came into power, forget about it, the banks will be there, ripping the dead people, ripping you, and doing everything possible.
Chandra, if I could get you to wind up now. We're looking for a bell. You're over your 3 minutes. If I could get you to close your remarks,
You'll have to
please.
be louder because I've got selective hearing. All right, that's about it.
Good on you. Thanks very much, Chandra.